Hey everybody, what's up? Moses here. Recently I've seen a lot of new players coming into Path of Exile, and the first thing they do is they start playing an Arc Witch. And I'm not saying anything against it here, I'm just saying that if you're playing Arc is best served in a trap. And in this video I'm going to try and kind of give you an understanding, if you're a new player, why not play a self-cast character with Arc. I mean, self-cast is just fine, you can do a bunch of stuff self-cast, but if you're choosing to play with Arc, I strongly recommend stop what you're doing, your low-level witch right now, and start a shadow, go Saboteur, and go Arc traps. And in this video I'm going to try and kind of like explain you why. So in Path of Exile you have your trap and your multi-trap. Essentially, trap, what will happen is it will change the supported spells or attacks that uses bows or wands, not melee attack that uses swords or maces, just bows or wands, or supported spells. This is what we're talking about here, which is Arc is going to turn it into a trap, which means instead of casting, this is my right click right here, see? So instead of self-casting this Arc, which is essentially going to be a chain lightning that will chain between enemies, killing them all if you have enough damage. So instead of self-casting, you're going to be throwing a couple of traps, and with multi-traps you're going to be throwing even more. Alright, so the difference is, well, you can see for yourself. I'm able to throw with basically hardly any type of investment on my gear and on my tree, just the inherent shadow Saboteur nodes. I'm able to deliver a massive amount of traps per second that the self-cast is just simply not going to be able to deliver the same amount. You're not going to be able to throw, to self-cast that many arcs per second that will deliver the same amount of damage. Just not going to happen ever. In addition, if you're self-casting Arc, you're going to have to like aim the skill on the monster, so it's a bit not that hard, but it's a bit more you have to be a bit more accurate with the mouse. You have to be a bit, whereas if you chain traps, you just throw the traps in the general direction. They have a trigger area, and if monsters are nearby they will trigger. Alright, so your damage is a lot more consistent and a lot more bursty, because you're not casting one arc, you're throwing 4 traps, and in a very, very short succession. I mean, look at this guy. It's pretty quick, right? And you're throwing 4 at once with, optimal gear, 3 at once very, very early on. But still, 3 at once, 4 at once. Arc traps is huge in terms of damage, and this is the message I'm trying to deliver here. Okay? But on top of that, Arc traps is extremely good because this build make use of 3 extremely strong defensive mechanics that exist in the game. Okay, one of them is being a shadow, starting the tree over here, and having trap nodes like Master Sapper over here gives you an extremely close proximity to acrobatics and phase acrobatics with these 3 acrobatics improvement nodes. So what acrobatics does, let's read. 30% chance to dodge attacks, okay, and then you have 3, 4, and 3, so that's 10%, so that's 40% chance to dodge attacks, okay, which means 40% of all the attacks that come your way are going to be dodge, which means you're taking 40% less damage than a character that doesn't have that. On top, this node gives you additional 30% chance to dodge spell hits. So you got 40% chance to dodge attacks, 30% chance to dodge hits. Dodge and evasion are different stats. Both will allow you to avoid the damage. Evade is based on your gear. I don't have any evasion right now, I don't think. No. But essentially you have evasion gear that will you know, stack up, going to give you, I basically have 416 evasion, and the more evasion you'll have, a chance to evade attacks. Evade and dodge are different mechanics. Both will allow you to avoid the damage, but both are two different roll dice, right? They're two different things. So if you have high evasion and you have high dodge, then when a monster hits you, it has to succeed in two different rolls of the dice. That's essentially how it works. In this build, we don't have evasion. We're not focused on evasion. We are focused on dodge. Dodge is extremely limited and mostly is used in builds through these nodes right here. Acrobatics, the acro improvements, and phase acrobatics. This is a 5 node, essentially 6 node investment in my build, but it is huge for defense. Another consideration for this particular build, another big defensive layer, is mind over matter. Mind over matter with these mana nodes allows us to expand our mana pool and to take 30% of our damage as from our mana before the life. So when a monster hits us for, you know, 1000 hit points or damage points, we will take 700 damage from our life pool and 300 damage from our mana pool. Okay, and this allows us to stay alive and to be able to absorb more hits. It increases our effective health pool and allows us to be more survivable, more tanky, because we have a big pool of mana that also absorb a big portion, 30% is a big portion of our damage that we're taking. But the Shadow has something that does not exist in the game for any other class inherently. In the Shadow Saboteur Ascendancy, it is there exists an extremely strong node that doesn't exist for any other class in the game, which allows you, it's born in the Shadow, that says the third line reads, nearby enemies are blinded. And in brackets below you can see blinded enemies have their chance to hit halved, which basically means when a monster tries to attack you, okay, it will succeed in only 50% of the times, which means a non-Born in the Shadows character will take twice as much damage from hits compared to another character. Or in other words, Shadow is going to take half of the damage that's going to be coming in from monsters. This is huge. I can't stress that enough, because it's another layer of defense. And if you consider the fact that we do have a lot of dodge from these nodes right here, when a monster does succeed to hit you, because it's blinded, right? Chance to hit is halved. So when it does succeed to hit you, it still has to pass a dodge roll from acro and phase acro, right? And even when that passes, Mind over Matter comes into place, mitigating a lot of the damage that you take. This, in my opinion, for a new player, a lot of damage is going to be coming in at you from sources that you're not even going to be aware are happening, and this will mitigate a lot of that coming damage. Simply just by being a Shadow. There's a lot to talk about, but I can't cover every single reason, because then I'll be talking for a very, very long time. But I really hope that in this video I was able to kind of like convey the message why, why a Trapper Archer is better than than an Arc Miner, than an Arc Self-Cast Witch. And we'll finish off with some gameplay. Let me just find a map here for like this, for example. And I guess we can throw in some Sextants. Basically, if you guys don't know, Sextants add more monsters to the instance. So, I mean, they can. Your job is to roll them until they actually add more monsters, increase magic pack size, until they add more monsters to the instance. Ooh, hunted traders, that's good. That's a very, very good roll. Here we got monsters that deal lightning damage, increased magic pack size, additional monsters that heal, and contain hunted traders, which are another awesome type of monsters that essentially, you know, fight each other, and you'll see monsters are fighting each other, and they all drop a bunch of loot. So this is a tier 16, essentially the highest map tier you can get in the game. There's no higher map than tier 16, Underground Sea. And I just want to show you some gameplay, because I've been talking about arc traps versus arc, yeah, actually have to put the map in the map device. We're gonna run it with Beyond, and let's see what happens. Bear in mind, I just finished my night shift. Not just, but like a little bit earlier. I did finish my night shift, and I'm a bit tired, so I mean, I might die. But again, it doesn't make the build bad or anything. It's just I'm pretty tired. Also, it's going to take quite a lot for me to die as an arc trapper, since I've been playing this build for such a long time. But still, I mean, I die every once in a while. It happens. I mean, it's Path of Exile. With everything that we try to do here, every once in a while, shit kills us. I mean, no matter how strong your character is, that's what I love about this game also, that, like, seriously, no matter how strong your character is, no matter how good it is, I mean, you're not immune to anything. In the end, stuff can kill you, and will kill you if, you know, you make a mistake. But even in this kind of like environment, you see the arc traps, just like you throw a couple of traps and everything just explodes. Not to mention it destroys single target, like these unique Beyond monsters that will absolutely annihilate any arc witch that will try and come, you know, come close to it. And yeah, again, you can see the DPS output is kind of ridiculous. Clear speed is yeah, and the arc is the same arc. I mean, no matter what you do, arc will chain, and it's extremely powerful. But if you do choose to go with, you know, if you do choose to go with arc, I would really recommend to go with arc traps versus yeah, versus a witch, because this will never come close to this type of clear speed, this type of defensiveness. I mean, it is just couple levels you know, ahead. And again, the good thing is you only need rare gear. You don't even need any kind of uniques to make this build OP. I mean, obviously some builds are going to improve it, but inherently it's a solid build with good defensive layers, good damage output, and it's extremely easy to level up. I made a guide about that, you can check it out. It's easy to level up, it doesn't require any specific uniques, it's not expensive. Best starter build in my opinion. So hope you guys enjoyed the video and you have a little bit of a better idea on what this thing is all about, and hope to see you guys on stream. Thanks for watching.